I'm an associate member of T3 Trading Group, which is an SEC registered broker dealer and member of FINRA. All of my trades are placed through T3 Trading Group. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your own financial condition. Position disclosure. I'm out of the Tesla short and the TSLQ long, which was also a Tesla short. And I stopped myself out of my UVixie long, which was a little annoyed about, but I could talk about it. Oh, man, I'm gonna blow a gasket today if the microphone's bad. I just don't have it in me. I'll just quit it. I'm happy to just not do a meeting. I have way too much going on. Genuinely, way too much going on. If my microphone's no good, somebody else can do it. Reduce this thing, it helps. Now it's already off. Is it better? Is it better now? Still like rapidly trading some of these things. Mic check. Mic check. Check. Mic check. All right. You can push through, or I can put it. You guys tell me. Okay. I'm doing so like got so much trading happening right now at the same time. All right. So we got AMD, Google, Snap, Reddit, After Hours. Those are some ones I'm most interested in. Just trying to have my held snapping to the support in like years, so it's definitely up. It's it's definitely up. Um, Reddit, I've been a Super Bowl on. I no longer have a position. Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. I didn't even really look at the Google or AMD numbers yet. I just know that Google crushed it. So I'm gonna take a quick look. Google beats EPS, beats revenue, beats ad revenue, beats crushes cloud revenue. That's an important one. Um, nice beat on operating income. Other bets beats. I feel like that one's usually like not good. YouTube ad rev, another important one. Solid beat. I mean, these numbers are phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I think that Google's the cheapest one out of all the Mag 7 stocks fundamentally. There's a lot of upside room in this thing, I think, especially this one. AMD, on the other hand, smoking that down, helping our Qs trade at pretty much almost where they closed now. Initially, Qs recover off of Google, but now they're coming down a little bit off of A&B. And Apple's also slowly getting hit down also here after hours. QRVO is what someone said. I don't really know what this QRVO even does. Um, Someone's gonna have to explain that one to me. Shit. No, 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 no. God, I can't find my offer. Jesus. Hold on, hold on. I just made a small mistake in a trade. I need a second. All right, I know what I did. Just do this. It cost me like money. Perfect. Um, what was I talking about? AMD. AMD CapEx, light compared to estimates. I never know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Revenue beats, R&D expenses coming hot a little bit. Operating margins miss 25% versus estimates of 25.4%, so they don't like that. It's not a huge miss though. Um, AMD sees fourth quarter revenue 7.2 to 7.8 billion versus estimates of 7.55 billion. It's pretty much in line. What's so bad about this AMD report? Fourth quarter sales forecast lags the midpoint. Does it? I thought it was right in the midpoint. I guess it's it's slightly below the midpoint, but you guys said it though, the way that AMD got run up into the report today, that report was going to have to be pretty good. All AMD is really doing is waiting back down to where it was trading yesterday after this report. The gross margin, a small miss on also. That AMD report does not look like a disaster to me. Yeah, but like always, it matters what the expectations are going into the report. Very small miss on estimates on fourth quarter revenue and gross margin, but you just can't miss on any numbers these days. Yeah, if you're in the semiconductor space, you can't miss on anything. And what I did, they aren't crushing earnings, it's just, it's always versus estimates. All right, so that is the update. Let's check on these queues again. So the queues are trading like 15 cents above where they closed, 20 cents above where they closed, moving a little bit higher as I'm speaking. So for the moment, the the Q breakout is not being ruined by the after hours market action. It's further confirming it. And that was the highlight of the day was the NASDAQ. So was trying to take a review of what the market did, um, including like a 50-cent bounce in the SPYs here after hours. Some of the SPYs are more after hours than the Qs are. Including a 50-cent bounce here in the SPYs after hours. We're up a 4% for the S&P on the day. The Qs, like I said, were up like, I don't know, 25 cents or so after hours. So they're up a percentage point on the day. And the IWM is down a 0.25%, and that's what's it's sitting a little bit higher after hours. IWM is down a 0.25%. RSP is down 0.3%. Uh, right when the market is sorry, I find it to be very frustrating sometimes, but it's really been the um Beef Gill shows 0% ownership in Chewy. Uh, it's really been the theme of the year now. The theme of the year, I feel like, has been equal weighted S&P underperforming and the NASDAQ keeping up the entire market. And today was no exception to that. It was just kind of back to the status quo. We had a brief period of time here. Why is that on? We had a brief period of time here where um these cues were underperforming in like whatever the second half of October here to even what spies were doing and this little run that the IWM had from October 10th through October, 18th or so. In a little small period of time here where the IWM is up and down. It was only a matter of time though with the interest rates moving the way that they are moving that the IWM would come out again. And if anything, if you look at where interest rates are over the course of the month of October, you would actually expect probably all the indexes to be trading much lower. And I would say especially the IWM to be trading much lower. We just looked at it so many times throughout the course of this year. Higher interest rates are bad for the IWM, but they don't matter. for NASDAQ, as long as they don't lead to like a broader recession, and there is no broader recession going on right now. Higher interest rates, if anything, I think are good for Apple and Microsoft and those companies that have big lots of cash because they can just earn even more money in their cash. So moving the interest rate probably going to put the Qs in the same way as they put the two, the WM. But all of a sudden, the lack of any impact in this market until so recently, a little bit with the recent after this interest rate move is really interesting. But after kind of underperforming here a little bit for a few weeks, if that, on the Qs, today they confirmed their breakout. So with trading sessions, so three trading sessions ago, we had a false breakdown in Amazon. So nice to know that second level support perfectly. What trading sessions we had a potential false breakout in the Nasdaq, getting above the key 498.50. 498.50 is the level I keep looking at. It negates the negative Maribozu, it negates the data take notice of that came from the XLM news. There was heavier volume selling had kind of come in on a couple of these trading stations, but now that we're above those levels, anyone that sold was wrong. So we got above that level, two trading sessions ago, just to build it down that was in Friday. Yesterday we had a UPF inside day. So we said yesterday's afternoon meeting that the way the inside day breaks is going to be what's key to how the market can move. Inside and down confirms a failed breakout. Inside and up confirms the breakout. We gapped down to yesterday's low in the Qs. We gapped down below yesterday's low in the SPYs. The first 5 to 10 minutes of the day was very weak. And that was it. We just ripped the rest of the day. The whole rest of the day was this pretty intensive grind. There was a little bit of an acceleration as we were getting above that, 498.50, 499, that was talking about. Then we broke through $500, which was also a really key level. Pulled back a little bit in the last 10 minutes on the imbalances, and that was it. So the market technicals for the Nasdaq are just looking absolutely phenomenal at this point. Incredibly bullish. There's always a chance that that gets derailed by, really important earnings report, or by, something happens with the macro, with the non-farm payrolls, or next week with the election, or next week with the Fed. But for the moment, AMD trading down and Google trading up is not enough to derail this breakout in the Qs. It's a close on highs. It's a close above 498.50. It's a close above $500. It is once again now very difficult to be bearish on this index. I would still argue, and I don't want to be a dead horse on the bear side of the market because I like being a bear. I still argue that, there's a concern here when I look at the RSP teasing negative. But we saw that all year. It's been an incredible year for the indexes for the S&P and the Nasdaq. Not an incredible year for many, many stocks, but an incredible year for the S&P and an incredible year for the Nasdaq. And it's it, don't fight it. So, I'm putting now very, very lightly in any remaining shorts that I have open. Frustratingly, I got stopped out below the daily Vixie. And it was the same thing. So I usually long Vixie for like longer, than almost any other time in my career. I am a very heavy advocate of not being long this ETF because it's a garbage ETF. The way that this thing decays, it auto trades to zero over time. So if you're not going to be long UVXY, you really kind of need a fast move and you're forward. You have to get out of the way. And this thing did an incredible job over the course of the month of October I ended up taking a small loss on it. My average price on it was probably like 26.50, and I stopped myself out at 26.20 today. So I ended up taking a small loss on it. Um, this thing did an incredible job of holding up over the course of the month of October. the VIX has been elevated. The state effective market has stated highs and has held highs. Um, but, you know, as we now get into the November period of time, I think we even saw that there was a big VIX bet. uh, Um, I think it was somebody bought 13 million puts on size, I think, for the VIX. That was out to mid-December, the December expiration. Not even going off memory, I don't exactly remember if that's all correct though. Um, and the bit there is just that, this elevated VIX is coming specifically from what I've been talking about for over a month, which is that the market usually is fearful and has uncertainty into the election and then gets bought up after the election. The other key thing about this time around, and we spent some time talking about this yesterday, is that the market didn't sell off this time around, but the VIX behaved as if it did. So market participants still came out and really funded themselves for this event, but didn't actually sell down the index in a way that they traditionally do. So I've been seeing long UVXC and been trying to be some of the indexes and being cautious on doing a little better and then caution on some of the buying has absolutely cost me some money because there's some things that are there that I wouldn't have otherwise been in. But this or this. Um, where the concern though is like that now if once we get through the election, assuming that there's no disaster, I really hope that there is no disaster. Assuming that we get through this election and now things are normal, there's a reason why that big player put that you know fixed $13 bill. They're just betting on a return to normalcy on the VIX post the election as people have to run off their budgets. So for me, I was really happy with how well actually I was able to stay in this UVixie field. I'm kind of back and forth between being, decently green on it to being small red on it, never really being too much on the money and having really good signs. And then there were certain days here when that popped, like this, or the market pulled back, like we had pretty, pretty food, where I was like, this trade might really pay if I can get a market pullback. Right, no, that's something that I don't understand my working on. So, to me, when the market was, I guess the spies never really confirmed too much their inside no, but as the market was beginning to give its inside in, was like, things were giving my inside no, I basically told myself, this new Vixen with its inside day, if it gets below the inside day low, I need to just let myself out because, you know, the way for the Subics, you get switched all the way down. And then the product that you want to be sitting in for long periods of time. It enabled me to stay in it for much longer than I typically do because the next thing I do with the Subics is going to break down. If I first put in this low here at 22 cents, I put the stop loss in at 21 cents. And it got down there here to 23 cents. And then, sort of dropped a little bit. He's only got me quickly. If you don't understand me, I just I was told that you guys can understand me a little bit. And Josh wasn't paying attention earlier, I guess. I am on the travel setup. Um, all right. I'm just gonna end the meeting. I can't deal with this. We'll reconvene tomorrow. I'll be on a different setup. I'm just not we have too many trades going on right now. I'm kind of played still heavily this Apple down move and the CJT move and the indexes off these earnings reports while trying to do this meeting. So if you guys aren't getting anything out of it because I have a microphone issue, then we'll just reconvene tomorrow. So have a good night, everybody. I'll see you all then.